Don't just live for tomorrow, or just live in yesterday. Just be glad for all you have that's in today.
Hey everyone, Connie here, and welcome to my blind reaction to Phineas and Ferb the movie, Candace Against the Universe. So this is a new Phineas and Ferb movie in 2020. That's just that alone is amazing. I watched this series when it was on, when it aired, and even now I go back and watch certain episodes here and there. My favorite definitely has to be the getting the band back together episode. Just the music in it is amazing. I love the plot. It's hilarious. Um, it's just amazing. Um, as you know on the channel, I have reacted to a bit of the spin-off kind of sequel, semi-sequel series, Milo Murphy's Law, uh, but kind of dropped it because I felt it just wasn't going anywhere or doing anything. Um, so I don't know if there's going to be any references to anything like the characters, because I know the Phineas and Ferb characters appear in that as well, because it's in the same universe and all. I don't know if there's going to be any references to anything with that. Like maybe Milo will show up or something, or even just be in the background. I don't know. Um, but with the nature of the show having been so episodic, I don't think it'll make that big of a difference. um, yeah, so I'm excited for this. When I heard this was coming, it's like, oh, that's really cool that they're doing a new Phineas and Ferb movie, and I'm hoping it's really good. I mean, it's got, the best of my knowledge, the original crew, the original voice actors, and everything. Why wouldn't it? Um, so I presuming it's going to be just as good as ever, but we'll have to watch and find out. So yeah, I don't know anything about the actual movie's plot. Like, I don't know what it's about. The title alone, based on that, Candace Against the Universe, it just kind of sounds like a Phineas and Ferb episode with Candace like trying to get her brothers in trouble and everything, and everything kind of working out against her. It's like that's kind of what happened to pretty much every episode of Phineas and Ferb. So that's not like this big surprise or big reveal or anything, or it doesn't tell us anything about what the movie's actually going to be about. Um, yeah, and I don't I haven't even seen any of the trailers or anything. It's like I heard about the movie and then it's like, oh yeah, I'm just going to go into this pretty much as blind as possible. So that's what we're doing. Um, Now, this isn't like a donation reward or anything like that. This is something I'm just choosing to do because I want to react to it. Um, so if anyone was thinking that, yeah, this isn't a donation reward. This is just it's a personal decision, just something I want to check out anyway. So it's like, why not react to it, right? Um, but yeah, either way, we're just gonna get this started and hopefully it ends up being really fantastic. So when the screen fades to black, pause this redirect and go to the description below. Follow the link to the reaction, and after you watch it, come back here to the redirect and resume play. Because after it fades to black, then it fades back in, everything from that point forward will be my afterthoughts and will contain spoilers to the movie. So, that being said, thank you so much for tuning in, and I will see you at the reaction. Okay, and we are back, and we'll begin with spoilers in 3, 2, 1, now. So I looked it up after I closed out the recording and everything for the reaction. I looked it up. It is the Thomas Sanders I know from Vine and YouTube and all, which is phenomenal. That's amazing. He was Throw Lobster. He was the talk show host on the other planet. Um, but either way, let's talk about this. So this movie, I feel like if you grew up watching Phineas and Ferb. No matter whether you saw or didn't see or liked or didn't like or whatever with Milo Murphy's Law, because that I don't even think there was a reference to it in the movie. If there was, I didn't see it. Um, but no matter what, if you grew up liking Phineas and Ferb, if you watched it, if it was something like me that you remember very fondly, and again, go back and watch past episodes and clips every now and again, then yeah, you're gonna love this movie. Um, Same cast, same writers and creators. It feels like a just complete continuation of the series. And with the scale of it, having them go to another planet light years away, the big threats that they have to face, as well as Candace facing her own insecurities that have manifested through her trying to bust her brothers and eventually coming to terms with her love for them at the end, and that she's not going to bust them, not even going to try. It feels like this was the natural progression. Like this is where the series would head. And yeah, we already had obviously the other movie and everything. We had the finale to the series. We had all of that good stuff. But it's like even with that, which closed it out well before, having this extra movie, it's like it doesn't feel like it invalidates the quality of the previous movie or the finale or anything. It adds on to it. Again, this feels like it's just like, okay, we're continuing. We're bringing back this beloved show, this time as a movie. Well, again, as a movie, but you know what I mean. And it was great. It was just, it was wonderful. It was hilarious. It was fun. It was entertaining. It had scale. It had ridiculous references, a lot of fourth wall breaks, which I love that kind of thing. As long as it's not done to too ridiculous and too dumb a level, which I don't think it was. Um, and just a lot of really good voice acting. Like, I mean, it was good in the show, but like with the additional cast members and stuff brought into this, it's like they all did really fantastic. Honestly, there's not really much of anything bad to say about it. The pacing was good, the writing was good, the new characters were good. I mean, you could say maybe it was a little bit predictable. Like, yeah, obviously, the alien queen, I can't remember her name is like Big something or whatnot. I don't know, but um, obviously she's gonna end up being the bad guy. Obviously, this was all a trick. We didn't know maybe the exact specifications. Like we didn't know that uh, the gas that was coming from Candace was going to be CO2. I forgot what they called it. Um, we didn't know that was going to end up being CO2. We didn't know how things were going to go. And hell, we didn't even know about the mind control thing. There wasn't really anything to think about with that until we saw the talk show. When you saw the audience, it was very clear that something was wrong with them. So it's like any issues that I could really find, I'd have to dig deep and I'd have to say they'd mostly just be nitpicks. Because even with the predictability of it, it's like it doesn't really take anything away. None of the characters even felt forced, even though a lot of them they were like kind of like pushed into the situation as well. None of it felt like they were forced and like they didn't belong there. Like obviously Candace and Vanessa were kidnapped, so obviously Phineas and Ferb and Doofenshmirtz are going to go try to rescue them. And of course, having the friends there, of course they're going to help Phineas and Ferb. Like that's a no-brainer. So it makes sense that all of them would be there. There was really, and of course, with Candace being abducted, of course that's going to also alert the Perry's secret agency, and so of course Perry is going to go as well. So it's like, yeah, everything felt like it naturally would go in that direction. the entire brain control thing is like something, yeah, we've seen before in everything. Let's be honest. Let's be honest. The entire brain control plot point is like one of the most consistently done sci-fi kind of tropes out there, kind of story points. It's like, yeah, like everyone's done some kind of mind control thing. But it never felt like it was stupid, you know? Like it actually felt threatening. It actually felt like, oh, this is bad, rather than, oh, this is just dumb. No, it never felt like that. So I'm glad about that. Um, and the fact that the plant mama ended up growing into this giant monster because it was getting too much uh, CO2. I liked that because obviously the alien queen, she wouldn't know that that would happen because the plants never had that much CO2. So it's like with that much, even just being in just a packed baseball stadium, ballpark, even just that much, yeah, it's going to get overloaded with CO2, so it's going to grow bigger and bigger, and it ended up becoming sentient and monstrous. I liked the chicken replacinator or whatever it was called. I thought that was actually really just a really funny uh, device for Doofenshmirtz to have made in general. But like the instant it's introduced, the way they introduce it, you can tell it's going to become useful and it's going to actually be integral to the story. I didn't know it was going to be that integral, but hey, you knew it was going to be important somehow. Um, and even the fact that it had a reverse on it, where it could be the farthest chicken away, I did not expect that somehow. It's so obvious that, of course, Doofenshmirtz would do something like that, but at the same time, it just never occurred to me. It never clicked in my brain that that could be a thing that he put in there. As much as Doofenshmirtz does that kind of shit, it's just I don't know why I never thought of that, but it's hilarious. The music was good. Phineas and Ferb has always been great with its music. I would say the best song was definitely the first one, though, the opening song. Every song after that, I don't know if it's just because of how good the opening song was, but every song after that felt weaker, and it just they just didn't live up to the other songs, or honestly, the other songs from the series. The last one was the closest, though. The last song, Phineas and Ferb joining Candace, and then everybody else joining in on the song as well. Yeah, that song was good. Um, but a lot of the songs in between the first and last song just felt lesser. Not bad by any means. They were still good songs, just lesser. And it just felt like they didn't live up to the fact that this was a movie. Let's like you could hear those songs in the series, that quality for that. But like for the movie, it just felt like they were a little mediocre. But again, that's more of a nitpick than anything. It didn't hurt the film at all. And again, the songs were still good. Like they were still high quality. So it didn't really take anything away from me. Um, I still find it insane. Like even though he barely had any moments in this movie, and I don't even think he spoke in the film until the end. Um, the father, I still find it insane that he's voiced by the guy who played Riff Raff in the Rocky Horror Picture Show movie. It's like that still blows me away every time because he's so freaking different of a character. But it's like, hey, that's acting. And overall, yeah, I just really enjoyed the hell out of this movie. I thought it was fun. I thought it was great. And I don't know if you noticed, I was tearing up at a couple points because I was excited. I was overjoyed to be back with this series. Like, I did grow up watching this series. I greatly have fond memories of it from all kinds of different episodes, not just the Love Handle one. And it's just like, I even though I watch clips and even some episodes again every now and again here and there, I missed it. Milo Murphy's Law didn't live up to it for me, and I missed it. And so when I heard this was coming, it's like it was exciting for me. And getting to watch it again, watch it when I was watching the opening song, I was getting extremely emotional. Just knowing it was real, that that the series is continuing through this movie, and it's great, and I loved it. It's not necessarily the best movie I've seen even this year, um, but I really did enjoy it. And I want to hear what you guys thought too. So tell me in the comments below what you thought of Phineas and Ferb the movie, Candace Against the Universe. And I hope you enjoyed this reaction. And I hope that honestly, I hope you were surprised by it. Because I did nothing to try and spoil that I was doing this reaction. I did not want to tell anyone or even say anything about it, but I was planning to do this as a reaction the instant I heard the movie was happening. Um, so yeah, I hope you enjoyed. I hope you were surprised. And yeah, hopefully we can have more great movie reactions and just reactions in general going forward. So thank you all so much for tuning in. And for now, I'm Connie and I'm signing off. See you all next time.